What's going on, guys? My name's MeatShielder45 and welcome to the first video of my new channel. And if you don't mind, hit the like and subscribe button and you can follow our progress as the channel develops. Now let's jump right into it with 5 hours of alchemy farming in the Coldharbour zone. Coldharbour can be found by zooming all the way out of the Tamriel map, located in this top left circle. Once inside the Coldharbour zone, we'll be mainly focusing where our highest concentration of alchemy ingredients are located, which is the Hollow City, and many alchemy ingredients can be found along water edges and along the pathways of the city. Now over my 5 hours of farming ingredients here, I'm not gonna lie to you, it was very competitive. Often I was fighting anywhere between 1 to 3 people for the ingredients located inside the city. So that was a good indication that it'd be well worth my efforts on this 5-hour journey to collect as many ingredients as I can. And to accomplish this, I was gonna have to be fast. So what I ended up doing was putting on 2 different sets that make me faster than the competition. Now the first set is known as Jailbreakers, and it can be dropped from any of the Banished Cell dungeons. And when 5 pieces of the set are worn, it grants the buff of Minor Expedition, increasing my movement speed whenever I'm walking or swimming. The second set of my gear is going to be Coward's Gear, and it's received by playing Battleground activities. However, this set can be found in a lot of guild traders since it is not very commonly used and it can be found for very cheap. When 5 pieces of the set are worn, it grants the buff of Major Expedition, increasing my movement speed whenever I'm sprinting. Now the final tool for me being successful these next 5 hours is going to be located in the crafting tree of the champion point system. In the top part of the tree, there are 2 vital passive buffs. First one being Plentiful Harvest. And after I dumped 50 champion points into this one perk, I had a 50% chance into getting double yields on all my resource nodes. Although the second perk wasn't required, it definitely helped reduce the time to harvest by 30%. Now about an hour into my farming, I realized there was only about a possible 11 ingredients that can be found inside the city. That being Blessed Thistle, Bugloss, Columbine, Cornflower, Dragonthorn, Lady Smock, Mountain Flower, Nightshade, Nernroot, Water Hyacinth, and Wormwood. Now these ingredients all have a wide range of value to them, and it kind of depends on whatever platform you're playing on. But for the Xbox Live community, these ingredients have a range between 50 gold and 350 gold per unit. However, for myself, I'm planning on keeping all the ingredients over these next 5 hours that I collect and end up using for them for some high-end trial potions, since I don't need to be spending my money on things I'm going to be using anyway. And the more time that I ended up spending in the Hollow City, I did realize that every once in a while you get about 20 minutes where people may not be picking up resource nodes, and that's kind of where I felt like I was gaining, more than losing out. Every once in a while you'd run into people doing quests in the area and they'd take a Columbine in front of my face and I wouldn't be concerned. However, you were seeing people running behind the buildings, you knew that they were in the competition, and I'd have to put a little more laser focus in on picking up these ingredients. But I did appreciate those low times. I often found myself watching random YouTube videos and just trying to keep myself entertained and not losing my sanity after doing the same activity for hours on end. But hey, that's ESO and the grind never stops. So if you're looking for an activity while you're waiting for those guild trader sales to come on through, come on by the Hollow City and give this a shot. Even though it's not that terrible, I'll be honest with you. I could definitely see myself doing this late at night when I, not quite sure on what I want to do. It's, very relaxing. And a great perk to this is there's no aggressive NPC or mobs in the area, so you can keep that two-hander away at home. You don't need to be getting it out here and, showing someone who's boss. You just live that peaceful life. And before I forget, I did have one last piece of equipment that was helping me in this grind, and that was Ring of the Wild Hunt, which is a mythical item that is obtainable once you've got level 7 scrying. And it is one of the easier mythical items to obtain. Like I said, once you get level 7 scrying, All you have to do is attain 5 gold leads, and it takes you only a few hours to gain a one-piece item set that grants your account so much utility and really makes doing some of the more PvE content much more bearable in the game, such as like sky shard hunting or resource hunting, or trying to complete some of those pesky quests about as fast as you can. And if you're like me, not a quester, this is the item to have. You just run right on through. And here we go, wrapping up the 5 hours of farming. I could barely contain myself. I was finally done with this task. And I can finally answer that question on was it worth it for me to farm for 5 hours inside the Hollow City. For our efforts, we did acquire 128 Blessed Thistle, 233 Bug Loss, 242 Columbine, 189 Cornflower, a flat 200 Dragonthorn, and 185 Lady Schmucks. We also did end up acquiring 217 Mountain Flower, 211 Nightshade, 187 Nernroot, 118 Water Hyacinth, and finally 241 Wormwood. So there you go, guys. Let me know down in the comments if you thought this was worth my time and if you'd like to see more content like this. If you wouldn't mind, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. See ya.